It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so dope. Everything's about Chelsea, feel upright. We repping our team, standing side by side. Win or lose, we carry that blue. Talk Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. In the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our hearts, can't take defeat. Every match we rise, watch the game unfold. Blue blood running deep, our story told. With every win we celebrate our crew. Chanting songs for Chelsea all day, it's true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. So the banners fly high under the sun. Every player on that field, together we run. With each kick we feel the passion ignite. For Chelsea our hearts shine forever bright. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so dope. Everything's about Chelsea, feel upright. We repping our team, standing side by side. Win or lose, we carry that blue. Talk Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. In the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our hearts, can't take defeat. Every match we rise, watch the game unfold. Blue blood running deep, our story told. With every win we celebrate our crew. Chanting songs for Chelsea all day, it's true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. So the banners fly high under the sun. Every player on that field, together we run. With each kick we feel the passion ignite. For Chelsea our hearts shine forever bright. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so dope. Everything's about Chelsea, feel upright. We repping our team, standing side by side. Win or lose, we carry that blue. Talk Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our hearts, can't take defeat. Every match we rise, watch the game unfold. Blue blood running deep, our story told. With every win we celebrate our crew. Chanting songs for Chelsea all day, it's true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. So the banners fly high under the sun. Every player on that field, together we run. With each kick we feel the passion ignite. For Chelsea our hearts shine forever bright. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd.
Yes, good people, big up to all of you. Welcome once again. Welcome to Chelsea Perspective. Welcome to another edition of the Blue Morning Show. I do hope you're all doing well. Today is the match build-up show. We get to talk about our upcoming game against Liverpool, the champions. We get to talk about that game. We get to do the lineup prediction exercise, preview the match, try to make sense of it, team news, and everything. And if, as the show progresses, we see any important news out there, we will address it. But welcome back to Just Perspective. We get a chance to host the Blue Morning Show because, yeah, it's Sunday. We usually have time Sundays and Saturdays, and hopefully soon we'll find help. And then the Blue Morning Show will be constant, and the News Roundup Show will still be there. So we'll look at insights from Google, gives us usually 5 items on the insides, more like history and statistics mixed together. We look at the insights on FODMOB, and then we look at team news and injuries and all that, current form, head to head, and try to come to a sensible conclusion with regards to how the game could end. But yeah, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. We have 5 likes. We can do much better than that. What do we have here? Let's look at it. Say hello to people there. Lean Brady says, yeah, Chelsea will win easy. He says, okay. I'm not falling for that for reason I've talked about. The more changes he makes, Slot makes, the more difficult it'd be for us because he'd have, just as Ty pointed out the other thing, players that are hungry to show that they should have been starting games before they even won the trophy. Players that are eager to prove to Arne Slot that they should be starting come next season. So I'd like him to play all the players that won them the league, but he's not going to do that. So for him to have said what he said publicly, that he's going to make something to the effect of making a lot of changes, yeah, I don't like that. But Palmer, nice to see you, Mr. Cole Palmer. I do hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time to join. You're just scared about the game. Here's the truth remains, Liverpool have kept the most clean sheets in the league. No denying that. The best team. I think they scored more goals also. I haven't looked at the numbers of it. I think they have. They're defensively, they're solid. Offensively, they're more potent than any other team in the league because, yeah, I think they've scored more goals. I think that's correct. But the truth remains, that doesn't mean that definitely they're going to beat us. It doesn't work like that. In football, 1+1 doesn't always equate to 2. You know that. We have a good squad that we can beat them. But will we? That's the question for the manager and the players, more importantly, to answer. But we get there. I hope we get a win. I wouldn't even appreciate a draw. If we can beat them, other teams, the remaining 3 games, I think they'd be concerned. They play us with fear, and that could be the difference between us finishing in the top 4. Or top 5. But here's the thing, it's become very interesting given the fact that Arsenal lost the game at home. Football, that's why you've got to love this game. It's just unpredictable. You can say you cannot script it, irrespective of what information you have in hand. You can not always correctly say this is what would definitely be the outcome of a particular game. We do, of course, we do need a win. A draw will be demoralizing, for lack of a more specific language there, and a lot of negativity will start flying around again. And I'm concerned to an extent that could affect the performance of our players in the next game, even though we still have a chance. But even though it means that we still have a chance, but a win will definitely change the mood within the fan base, in my opinion. We need Newcastle to lose and Chelsea to win. That could happen. And who are they playing today? I did check it yesterday. I think they have. Let me look one more time here. My other device. But keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show this particular morning. Let me check here. Today will be against Brighton. Brighton, they're shipping. I don't. Defensively, they can be suspect at times. If their manager don't overthink things, they've been in poor form. In 5 games, they've lost 3. Drew 1, and they've been averaging. Damn, they've been averaging at least 1.5 goals per game. And Newcastle, they've averaged a 0 point something, 0.56 or 0.75 goals per concession per game. So they conceded. Newcastle have conceded a lot less. Brighton have conceded a lot more. Newcastle have also scored a lot more. Brighton, in terms of goal scoring, a bit close. They scored 3 here, 2 here. That's 5, 7, 8, and Newcastle have scored 4. Okay, 9. Ooh, they've scored a lot more. But what gives me hope is that you simply cannot script this game. Anything could still happen. Anything, but it's concerning. Chances that they'd win their game today, because Brighton defensively, they ship in a lot of goals. So we just have to win. But if they lose, good for us. They drop points, and we go to 63. I hope they lose. So we'll topple them we'll have a point disparity between us and them. But that's, by the way, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. And captain of the community is in the house in Constantine Dun. Big up to you. I appreciate you finding the time to join me this particular morning. I do hope you're doing well. Let's hear from you, Dante. Are you looking forward to this one?
Yeah, big up, coach. Everyone in the chat.
I know
You're doing an all-nighter. You're up very early.
Here's the thing. I've been experimenting with the timing of the shows. We've switched mainly to the news roundup show, which comes up during the evening by the time my boys come back from school. But it looks like the more convenient one may well end up being the Blue Morning Show, given my doctoral program, because I'm going back to get it done and everything. So it becomes easier to wake up an hour earlier, or maybe an hour, 30 minutes earlier than the time they start getting ready for school. And that's transition from the show to helping them get ready for school. I think it will make the whole thing easier for me. But go ahead, let's hear your thoughts. Are you looking forward to this one?
Yeah, of course, big game. Very big game, obviously. Like Mariska says, every game's a final from now on. And like you say, we're going to war.
Yeah, it is war.
Yeah. Although I think you shouldn't advocate for wars, coach. That's not nice of you. But anyway, yeah. Look, it's good. As long as we get a result, that's all that matters. Liverpool will make some changes for sure. Arne Slot already said he will make quite a few changes.
And I want you to get into to also talk about the truth. Ty highlighted the other day, and I think it makes perfect sense. The more changes they make, the more difficult it be for us, because the more changes simply means they'll be leaving out some of the players that won the league for them.
Exactly.
And
yeah. Look,
they'll be playing players that want to win it. that want to show they should have been starting games
They
during
want
the
to prove
course
it.
of,
Yes.
yeah, exactly, to prove themselves. So it becomes more difficult for us. So if some people, I saw Nini from Blue Lions TV celebrating, saying thank you to Arne Slot, whether he was being sarcastic or not, but I don't think he was
No.
being sarcastic. He didn't understand that actually makes it even more difficult. But go ahead.
And that's what I was gonna say next, but you tapped in as usual, the tap in master.
That's my thing, you know.
Yeah. um, I was gonna say, yeah, look, it's still not gonna be easy because the players that are coming in, they want to prove that they belong, especially for next season. So they want to
Hmm.
show that they're ready, they belong, and they want to be here next season, and they want to be in the squad for next season. So because it's going to be quite a few of the fringe players. So they have a point to prove, like you said, exactly. So it's not going to be easy. Either way, it wouldn't be easy. Probably would have been better if it was their full 11, strong 11, because they were all of them were out partying quite strongly. So probably would have been better. But there's going to be some youngsters that will come in, some fringe players, like you said, they're going to want to prove it. So either way, it's not easy. So it doesn't really matter too much. It probably helps a little bit. There might just with the celebrations that some of them might be a little bit under the weather or yeah, because he said he will probably play half the players that start normally, and then half probably will be some players.
Definitely, he's not going to make a wholesome change. It becomes a risk. And
Yeah, I
here's the
think it'll
thing,
be 4 or 5 changes only. I think it'll be like 5 max. I'll
yeah.
be surprised if it's more than 5.
And if people are asking, how is it possible that those that won the league will take their foot off the pedal? It's a natural thing. It happens subconsciously, irrespective of
Yeah.
how committed you are. You know the job is done. Whatever is that
Now,
is
yeah,
left is just a mere formality. Go ahead.
it's done, but you see, there is a thing called bonuses and stuff like that. So a lot of players will be trying to hit their bonuses, appearances, a number of goals, assists. So they do still have a little bit for, those contracts are done that way for a reason, for so they don't tail off and they don't just stop. So they're still playing to earn a lot more money, especially the fringe players that don't earn as much money. Well, this will be their time to earn that money. So that's why it won't be quite that easy. Even Salah, he'll want to probably come on and play or might start most likely because he wants to maybe break gold records. There might be something in his contract clause. If he breaks a record or something, there's another there's another million or 2 million.
Hmm.
So there's little things to play for, little incentives. But yeah, look, the major prize they've won, which is fine, but there'll be plenty of incentives and plenty of money they'll be playing for the fringe players. So and we know what happened last season with their fringe players in the cup final. We do remember, even though our manager wasn't the best at that time, we still had a pretty decent game. We created a lot of chances, and they had more youngsters than us, younger players playing than us. So, and what happened? They still won in the end because a couple of those experienced players that were still there, like Van Dijk, they turned up. So you really, yeah, it's still going to be hard either way, but I'm confident we'll get at least a result in this game. I don't see us losing this game. I think worst case scenario will be a draw, uh, but there's a very good chance we win this game as well.
Here's the thing also, you can't trust the mindset of youngsters, of inexperienced players. Let's say that. I know we actually do have a lot of you could say good amount of experienced players right now, but we still have some that you could argue there's something that is commonplace with youngsters. Liverpool make that many changes, when they see the lineup, probably subconsciously feel like, yeah, no Salah, no Luis Diaz or the other guy, we've already won this. I don't know if you get my
Yeah,
point, which you could
yeah,
say,
I get your point. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
is the reason behind what we call charity FC.
Yeah, hold on, coach. 1 sec. Sorry, 1 second.
Okay. All right. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. No news items to address at all. Nothing new has emerged except comments from people and then reports of some redonkulous comment from Jamie Carragher, and also who was that? What you call his name? That said Copama will be open to joining Manchester United. Well, if they can bring us a 300 million, we take it and say bye to Copama. Players come, players go, but I don't think they can afford him. It's really that simple, in my opinion. What else do we have here? And I'm not sure I understand this. Okay. It's Lavia last game. His passes was on point, and he drives the ball. Can you tell me if he's starting? There's no way to tell if he's starting right now, but I think he's definitely going to start. I haven't seen the line, but it makes sense to believe that he starts. The reason that he didn't play him, he wasn't. He's not even in our European squad. I don't think he is. I think he gets to play today. He again, he makes a whole lot of difference. He's the best at beating the press amongst all the players we have right now. And I'm not sure I understand that. And Hams Master, Hams, nice to see you. It's been a minute. I do hope you're doing well. It's been a while. This is a good time to play Liverpool. Win these, we could be in a good position for UEFA Champions League. If we beat them, we'll be in a very good position to be in there, because I believe we're going to beat Nottingham Forest. I believe we'll beat. I do believe also we'll beat the other team. We'll beat Newcastle United. Honestly, I'm not too concerned. I'd be more concerned if those teams aren't doing well. If they are like bottom table teams, that's when I get concerned. But I think we will finish the season strong. Yeah, that's just my opinion. But Hams, nice to see you. And Tobago, big up, Tobago. Nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well, and thank you for finding the time to be with us this particular morning. Let's see. Big up everyone. Big up to you too. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry, yeah. My son, he ran out of his room.
Yeah. He comes first, man. The show is last, actually.
My wife's trying to put him to sleep, and he decided to run out and come looking for me. So yeah, he doesn't want to go. He doesn't want to go to sleep. But anyway, he's gone back, so that should be fine.
Yeah, go ahead. You were saying something.
No, continue, coach. Sorry, I can't remember exactly where I was. What I was saying.
Okay.
Continue with the chat.
Yeah. More likes, people. More likes. The likes to go a long way. Let's get more likes. Lavia is making us play better, and I hope he starts. I think he definitely starts. There's no question there. Probably the question is, will he play full 90 minutes? It depends on how the game pans out and how match fit he is. You want to add to that, Dante?
Yeah, look, I think he'll definitely start. He won't play the full 90 minutes because I don't think that they'll risk him 90 minutes, but I think he will play an extra 10, 15 minutes from what he did last time. So they'll have a program for him. They'll have him on minutes restriction, but he will play probably another 10, 15 from what he did last time, because that's probably the minutes usually they come back and what they do from what I've noticed. So yeah, look, he's very important to hold that midfield together and move the ball forward, break the press. Yeah, he's very important. The other thing I wanted to say about Liverpool, one thing that we've played very well against every time we've played Liverpool. Pretty much we should have really deserved minimum of a draw, but probably to win the games we've played against them.
In recent years, actually.
Yep. All the games basically we should have.
You could argue they've just been edging us with experience.
That and some dodgy calls, of course, as well.
Yeah, dodgy calls. Plenty of dodgy calls, actually, not
and
some.
bad finishing. Very bad finishing from us as well. Like I said, last season, even with under our ex, that actually killed us against them. Our finishing killed us against them. But even this season under Maresca, we saw that we should have beaten them at Anfield. They had a full team. We really deserved to win that game, in my personal opinion. Worst case, a draw, but I think we actually deserve to win that game. But so that's good to, we've got a good record against them. We play well against them. So, yeah.
Tons of draws from the days of Thomas Tuchel. The side in this thing, it just seemed as if it was predestined before the creation of the world that we're going to play that many draws against them. The only one on penalties in the cup games. 2 of the cup games, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Cup games, penalties, correct? Yes.
My word, that was crazy. You'd know already even before the kickoff, that he was going to end in the draw. But we'll see what happens. Let me ask you this question. I know you understand the injury thing better than most of us here. Romero Lavia, will there ever be a time you could say with hope that he's going to overcome the injuries that have plagued him? I've heard the theory before that usually this is very common with young players. A lot of stress. You could say a lot of games, but at certain points they will outgrow it. Is this something that's possible? Or is this just a horse dunk theory?
I think he'll be fine. it happens a lot, especially with players that are overdeveloped, as in body-wise, muscle like Lavia. He's very muscly. He's quite. He's got a lot of meat on him, coach, as you say.
Is
Uh,
he okay?
so he's a very developed young man. So that happens. Yeah, he's a bit heavier than normal. Is because oh, hold on, sorry, he's back again. Sorry, I have to go. Sorry,
Yeah, yeah,
I'll
yeah.
come back
Okay.
to you in a
No,
minute.
no worries, no worries. He comes first, man. So let's keep going. Family comes first. Just give me 1 second here. Let me take care of something. Um, all right. So the hope is that eventually he will outgrow that, and there are. You can argue. We can reference the case of Iron Robin. I think when Stav used to be on the panel here, he usually references the case of Iron Robin. You can reference the case of also Christian Pulisic. I think he's not getting injured that much anymore. Correct me if I'm wrong. But let's stick with the case of Iron Robin. You could argue one of the reasons why we weren't reluctant to keep him. We weren't reluctant to sell him. We sold him the moment I think it was Madrid that came calling, was because he was hardly ever fit. And again, the rest. Did follow the rest of his career and see how everything went down. There's a chance he outgrows it, and you could argue that's the reason why we've been patient with some of our players, hoping that they would experience the same scenario where they outgrow the injuries that have been plaguing them. 60 to 65 minutes, I think that'd be enough. Let's see. Big up to you too, IB. Nice to see you out. I hope you're doing well, and I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. This year reads that last game, Liverpool got a chip penalty and they robbed us a penalty. You could argue a lot of poor calls have led to us losing the games that we've lost to them in recent years. It's been close, or us being better, or us edging them. But the wins for each of the teams, for either Liverpool or Chelsea, have been slim. Yep. Healthy Lavia is like saying Wesley Fofana will walk without a limp. Let's see how that happens. Isco Palmer needs to find his touch again. Just one, if one goal goes in, and his thing, he's been helping, and you can argue he's making himself more useful by dropping deep. Yeah, he's been making himself more useful by dropping deep, helping the team control game, keep the ball, and orchestrate attacking moves and all that. But even you can see from those positions that he's not 100% himself because he gives away the ball cheaply. You can still sense that, yeah, he's lacking in confidence, and I think he will overcome that. And it's only a matter of time. And that is something that's a commonplace with young players. They still have a lot to learn in terms of managing their. You can argue, yeah, it'd be correct to say in terms of managing their mindset. And in Cole Palmer's case, just like Bobby emphasized the last time we talked about him at length, that I think he's letting the situation get to him to some extent, and that affects his delivery on the pitch. Yes, people, keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. Sincerely do appreciate you all finding the time to join the show. This particular give me 1 second. This particular morning. 1 second here. I think that's best.
Sorry, coach, I'm back. Yeah.
Yeah, you're fine. Okay, go ahead. You were saying something. Probably you've forgotten what you were saying.
No, just on the Lavia, yeah.
Okay.
Look, he was 20-year-old. I think he just turned 21 like a few months ago, if I remember right. And it happens a lot to the young players.
My goodness,
That's
he's
when their
still
body
very
changes.
young.
Yeah, the body changes a little bit, but especially the guys that are developed quite early, like Lavia has, and played a lot early because he played quite a bit when he was young, especially at Southampton. I think he didn't miss a game in the couple of years. He played like a big amount of games. So when the body changes, when you're that muscular, usually a lot of those young players get that problem because they're a little bit heavier. They go a little bit harder in the gym, and then their body's changing at this age. It's just transitioning, and they tend to always get injuries, unfortunately. But pretty much 98% of them get through that. They go through that at that 21 years of age, around that area, and then they get past that the season after that. So fingers crossed that's the same with him. But I think he'll be fine. He never had an injury record. Like I said, he played a lot in the youths. He played a lot for Southampton. He played a lot of football when he was young and had no injuries. So it only happened recently and last year, of course. So to me, it tells me that's what it is. I've seen it before happen. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what it is. And I
I
think
hope
it was
that's the case. And I think the club, the experts, medical experts at the club, they do know that, so they're not looking to
yes,
give
they
up
do.
on
Yeah.
him. Yeah. And let me go rephrase that. They should know. My belief is that they do.
And
Not
that's why they've taken extra care, and he's been out so long and came back very late. He's been trained extra. He didn't come in straight away. He trained like for 2 weeks before coming, 2 or 3 weeks actually he's been training. And then he started only got he got half a game. So they know that and that they're managing it through it.
Yeah, and let's talk about just a reference the case of Wesley Fofana quickly. It looks like last term, I think it was his idea to return earlier than he should, because if we
Yep.
revisit what the manager said when he manager's belief was that he was going to be out longer, and he was contracted to the manager through a French news outlet or sports outlet, or maybe a camp. I'm not sure how to categorize them. I wasn't happy at the time. I sensed something was wrong, and I was inclined to believe the manager, who probably spoke with the staff, who explained to him he needs to be out longer, but he probably uh, pushed to return earlier than usual and risked quite a lot. And now he's out for the rest of the season. I'd
Yeah.
say something was off, and probably from his end.
Yeah, look, it's pretty hard these days with the technology they have, how they've monitored them and everything. Players can still lie a little bit, of course, and they can say that they're 100%, but really they're not. We've seen that a lot. It can still happen, depends on the injury, muscle injury, especially, or something like that. Hamstring, just depends what the injury is. But I think the doctors, yeah, at the start they told him he's going to be out for much longer. He probably, trained well, got back, pushed through it a little bit. He probably was not 100%, but he wanted to make that desperate to make an impact and come back in the team, especially that he saw we're struggling after he went out as well. So he would have seen that. So look, it's not bad from him. He wanted to come back in, but yeah, we don't know exactly the inside story. It can be both ways. It can be a new injury. We
I
don't
mean,
know
we can only
exactly. It's hard
speculate.
to say.
Mhm.
It's very hard to say, but
Just
yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's very hard to say. I mean, obviously, Maresca, when he said that, he would have spoken to the doctors. Maresca would, and they would have said he's out for at least this long of a period, and that's why he came out in the presser and said that. And yeah, look, he can come back early. Did he risk it? I think 100% he risks it, and I probably most likely, like I said, for those reasons what I said, he wanted to come in back early, maybe a touch early. Again, we don't know if he did that. It's all on him, and they would know if if that's on him as well, and that would not go down well with Maresca and a lot of the staff as well. So he could have problems with if that's the case. You'll probably see him maybe try to be moved on at the end of the season if that actually happens. So if not, it might have been just a surprise, a different injury.
Yeah, and I'm not quite sure how they differ. Not sure how they differ. I think they have a lot in common. In terms of beating the press, I would argue. mm,
Not
in,
Leslie.
in,
Yeah,
in terms of
what I've
beating the
seen from
press,
Leslie, coach, he doesn't hold the ball close to his feet,
yeah, he
where
doesn't hold the
Lavia
ball too
does.
much. Yeah, so
He
Lavia
gets this
beats.
dispossessed. Can get this to dispossessed quite a lot, and he
mm,
has. He's got those big long legs. It's not his fault. It's just his genetics. And he's tall. He's a taller guy, bigger guy. No, he's not close to the ground like Lavia is, and he hasn't got that strength that Lavia has either. He's more of a skinny, tall guy, where Lavia's strong, big muscular legs, and he holds the ball really close. He's got a much close technique, much better technique than Guchuku. Running away, well, that yeah, he's got the pace, he's got the acceleration, he's got that side of it. But
he-
under the
mhm.
press, under possession, no, Lavia's way ahead in that.
Lavia beats the press better. Lavia still, all the players we have, even those that haven't arrived that are midfielders, Lavia beats them all in terms of beating the press. We've always talked about that. What Ugochukwu has over Lavia where he trumps Lavia is his ability, what he does off the ball. I think he's better at that, at least what
Yes.
I know so far. Ugochukwu is good at occupying spaces, even when he's not going in for the tackle, cutting off passing lanes, making it difficult for the opposition to progress the ball. He has that. He drives with the ball. But what they have in common, they can connect the defense in the midfield effectively. But Lavia is better at beating the press. You have 2, 3 men on him, he still find a solution. Ugochukwu, like just a tapping on a Conte here, he loses the ball more often. Maybe by the time he plays as many games as Lavia has played, maybe he'd become as good
Yeah, yeah.
in beating
He
the
looks
press.
to take on and drive forward instead of looking to pass first. Where Lavia looks for the pass first. Big difference.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Let's see. Tobias, nice to see you. Am I going to talk about Noni Madueke on the left or right? And we've become unpredictable. On the left, he was a different player. Give him his flowers. And remember, we have never for once said he's a bad player. We've always talked about his selfishness. That's the aspect of his game he needs to improve upon to become a much better player. He's always had it in him, but he looked better. Still, you can still see a bit of selfishness, irrespective of how well he played overall. I'm gonna go back
Yeah.
to saying that anyway. We don't hate him, we like him. We know he's a good player. We just know the aspect of his game as a winger you need to improve. You need to be more of a creator than a goal scorer because you have people in the box almost always waiting for you when you're in the flanks. If you've come central and the ball comes to you, try and put it away.
And if you watch him when he does that, his head is always down. His head is always down, and that is a big problem. Till he improves that, uh, he's not going to get that many assists and that stuff when his head is down like that. He would have triple the assists he has now if his head was up. Uh, even on the left when he cut in to shoot both those goals, his head was down on both occasions. Didn't look at no one, and the keeper. There was only one way he can go, and the keeper knew where he was going to shoot. So he's a bit predictable. He becomes a bit predictable. It helped that he went on the left, but again, like I said, he became predictable. There was only one thing he was going to do when he made those runs on the inside. He's going to shoot on his right because you can't at that speed, you can't go on his left. The keeper knew that, and he was already shifting to that position and made both the saves. So the problem with Madueke, he has to become way less predictable because unfortunately, he's very predictable. Defending him from the right, he can be very predictable because he's always going to try to cut in and shoot on his left, and he always gets blocked pretty much 90% of the times. And going on the outside, when he does beat his man and gets across, and his head is down, he just crosses it in for the sake of crossing it in, but his head is down. So once he gets that part of his game, he'll be a top winger. He'll be one of the best wingers in the Premier
He
League.
will be, yeah. He has the talent, but listen, he can still improve, irrespective of his age. Now, I think he can still get better. Some people are you could say, become mature in terms of their application on the pitch, very in their late 20s. Some early 20s have become very
Yeah,
mature. It's different for every player. Um,
correct.
Yeah, let's see. IB is saying here, I read a stat that Tosin has played the same amount of games as Fofana since he started his Chelsea career. Um, Off the bat, does that make sense? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Because what has happened, if Tosin isn't playing in Europe, he's playing the Premier League, except if the stats in question, if they're specific to the Premier League, then maybe yes. But if it is for the entirety of the seasons, all the games we've played, off the bat, I'd still say no and bet you that I'd be correct and that's a lie. What do you think, Dante?
Yeah, look, he's played Conference League a lot, every game basically. So that's put his numbers much higher. So it can be very close, I think, but I don't know the numbers. I'm not quite sure. I haven't seen them.
Maybe if the stats in question, if they are specific to the Premier League, then possibly yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen the stats, so I have no idea. Maybe he can get those stats for us.
Yeah, we want to see it. So stop, don't gaslight us here. Ugochukwu is more like a Caicedo rather than Lavia. No, he's different from Caicedo entirely. Ugochukwu is Markinum. Ugo is more like Lavia than Caicedo. I disagree. Yeah, I disagree. Um, Maybe in terms of defensive actions, maybe closer to Caicedo. I mean, I disagree. You may well be. Chances are that you're more correct than I am. I think I have to research that. It's important to be certain how they differ. But Michael Newman, nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. Do you think Leslie should go out on loan? He's probably, you can argue, I've said this before and I'm going to say it again, possibly his Chelsea career is over.
Mm-hmm. It'll either be a loan or a sell.
Yeah, unfortunately. Even if he goes out on loan again, his Chelsea career is over. He will eventually get sold. The risk is when you join the club and you had that initial opportunity, whether it was your doing it that you didn't get to play that many times, that meant you didn't get to play many games or not. Usually, you're judged on a surface level. I don't know, even managers do that sometimes. Whether you had the chance to play enough games to prove what you're capable of doing or not, it's difficult. Except if he goes out on loan and performs as well as Andreas Sanchez he's doing currently at Strasbourg, maybe yes. But right now, I'd say 70% to 30% leaning towards him getting sold on a permanent, that's staying. But if he ends up, and not him, if it's him, not Asugo, what's the other guy, Matisse? Um, is this Matisse
Amogo.
Asugo? Asugo.
Amogo.
They have two. Amugo, yeah. I think the end part of their last name sounds about the same, so that confuses me. Matisse and Amugo both are well acquainted with the French league. Him, Matisse. So I don't know whether both will go on loan to Strasbourg or maybe Ugochukwu, because Ugochukwu actually was excellent in the French league.
He was, yeah.
Yeah, he was excellent in the French league. So it would be a plus. And I think that's probably what's going to happen. But whether both will go there or one of them there, it's up to the manager to decide which of the two players he'd want. If it happens that two of them will be available to go out and loan him and Amugo, I think it will be up to Liam to choose which of the players he wants. But if you go through their records, from the perspective of how well they did in the French league, Ugochukwu has a better record than Amugo. Amugo just emerged, but Ugochukwu was excellent even against the likes of Messi. He did play against Neymar too, and he was a mainstay in the club he played for there. He did very well. So it's difficult to say what's going to happen. I say 70 to 30, leaning towards him leaving.
Look, the only advantage he's got that he's actually got loaned in the Premier League, and he's not doing too bad at Southampton. So he's got that.
But he only started playing when they changed their manager.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. Manager is very important for the style. Exactly. Look, I think he'll come back pre-season and he'll get his chance. He'll be looked at again with Eusebio and him and those defensive midfielders. They'll be looked at. And
I think that's just for the sake of it. You know why I say that?
Maresca will have a decision to make. You never know. Maresca might prefer him over Eusebio. Like, you just never know.
You have you forgotten the one we signed from Sporting CP, but he's on loan in Spanish. We've heard that he's coming to stay. So I don't think we have space there. And Andreas Santos is coming. So them participating in our preseason tour is just for the sake of it, just to make them feel like you belong here. Sometimes prove yourself. They will be considered. They will be looked at. It's just the manager's a mere formality, just to say it, to make the players feel important. I don't see a world where the club decides, you know what? Yeah, Ugochukwu stays and Santos or maybe what's his name, the one we're signing from Sporting CP goes out on loan. But go ahead, let's hear you.
Yeah, Eusebio. Yeah, look, like I said, IB in the chat, they're saying that Eusebio is very raw, and he is very raw. Not defensively. Defensively, he's a beast, but on the ball, and he's like positional play sometime. He is very raw, especially his technical
the one
ability
from the Portuguese, the one that's Sporting CP player, but on loan.
Yeah, he's a little bit more. He's just he's a tackler. He's goes in hard, plays hard, runs everywhere.
Do you know why I'm laughing?
Yeah.
Do you know Rodrigo Rodis?
Yes, I do. Yes, yes.
So he watched him and he said, "This brother, he's a good tackler, but he has the first touch of an elephant."
Yeah. Well, that's why I said he's not as technically
No, he's
as
not.
advanced.
But you could argue eventually he will become more polished.
Of course he will. He's young, yeah. And that
Yeah.
look, he's good at cleaning up, tackling, defending, covering spaces, and he's really good at that. He's actually one of the best kids in Europe at that. So he's very high. He's not just good on that side, he's excellent on that side. So that can cover a lot of the cracks. But his technical ability is not quite there from what I've looked. He's good, he's not bad, but it's not at a higher standard than what we've got. So yeah, he needs to work on that quite a bit. So that's what I said. You never know in preseason. Maresca might look at them, they play. He might, okay, I might want a good shoot. He might just say, I want a good Chuku, simple as that. And they might loan a Sujo out, just like Sporting loaned him out as well. Sporting loaned him out to Las Palmas as well, to a low team in Spain as well. So you just never know. But yeah, I think it's more 70-30, like you said, but you never know. It depends on the preference of the coach as well, very much.
All right, let's see what else we have here. Big up to you too, Shay. I hope you're doing well. Today is a winner for my club. I hope we win. Thank you for joining us. Big up to you too, Mackie, my brother. All love to you. I do hope you're doing well. Another loan wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't. But because of how things have changed from the landscape of things have changed from a financial perspective in football. Chances are, if we need to sell, if any club wants him, we just take the money and go.
I think so, yeah. Especially
Yeah.
like a newly promoted side, or like a lower Premier League side, like a lower. I think they'll be looking to sign exactly that type of player, a
Mm-hmm.
defensive player that's got a bit of experience, young but has got experience, and then has resale value later on as well. So
Yeah,
he's a prime candidate for that.
yeah, and the truth remains: are we going to be selling players? Yes, and especially if you haven't established yourself as a first-team player. If any club pays up what we're asking for, we'd sell you. You'd have to be Esther William or Kendrick Pies for us to say no. Look, we're gonna be flipping players, but there are exceptions. Irrespective of what anybody thinks, there are already exceptions. We know that. We know you have to be something out of this world for us to say, okay, you want Kai said, okay, if you want to pay us this, give it to us. But right now we don't have prices on them because we don't want to sell them. We want to win.
Correct. Yeah.
But there are players when you look at them, you say, yeah, probably gone. Like Ugochukwu, if the chance comes, he's gone.
Yeah.
There are other players there. Just like we knew that Omari Hutchinson is a talent, but we got, and you can say, a good fee. And we said, okay, bye, Felicia. And probably before we said bye, he wanted to leave too. Big up to you too on Constantine Dundee. Hopefully, Chelsea can get a win against Liverpool. But I have a feeling the game will end in a draw. It's a possibility. Majority of our games against them in recent years have all ended in a draw.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be shocked if we see the same thing today. Matissa Mogu will go to Strasbourg. Kendra Pies in maybe one of our goalkeepers, definitely one of our goalkeepers. If Petrovic will come back, he's definitely improved. And here's the thing, goalkeepers, I don't think it'd be right to say, yeah, because he was in the French league. Because in the French league, they don't shoot differently. I don't know if you get my argument, Dante. I've heard people argue, but he's doing well, but it's in the French league. No, they don't shoot differently. You're better off getting a goalkeeper that's faced a lot of shots, tested quite a lot. You get to see them tested and know, yeah, they're doing a good job. I think I would take him over Sanchez. Eventually, Jorgensen will get there, but I think he needs a lot of games to regain his confidence fully. I think he's lost confidence a bit. You can argue down to also what Maresca did, bring him on and then say we have two goalkeepers, and then switch to saying, Sanchez is definitely our starting goalkeeper. I couldn't stop laughing when he flip-flopped on. But go ahead, you were going to
We don't
say
see what
something.
happens in training, unfortunately, and off the field, we don't see that stuff. So,
We don't,
like
yeah.
you said, if he's acting the same in training, well, he has to put Sanchez back in if he's if he's acting as nervous and not doing it in training either. Well, he had no choice really. So yeah, look, he's still
But it looks
quality.
like
Jorgensen,
he's
he can
made a
come.
good decision to bring back Sanchez.
Yeah, and it paid off. The decision actually
Hmm.
paid off. So
Hmm.
yeah, you got to credit Maresca for that one. So 100% it worked. Look, he's still playing in the Conference League, and he did actually very very well against Joe Garden. He pulled up a couple of really important stops as well, Jorgensen again, and he pretty much was faultless in that game as well. So he's just got to keep working hard, and like you said, more games, more confidence, and yeah, that's experience. He's young. He's still a young kid, so he's still got a bit of nerves. It seems so. He needs to get over that. Then that comes with experience.
Yeah. Yeah, Matisse Amogu, we go to possibly Pies. Definitely, we've heard that, and I'm happy that Pies will be going out on loan. It just wouldn't make sense to bring him such talent, add him to the squad, and then um, he plays here and there. I think that would be detrimental to his development, in my opinion. Ugochukwu had a similar season to Caicedo in League One before we bought him. I'd have to agree. He's a good player. I follow a lot of players that are of Nigerian descent, which I scout for the NFA. I think they do well, honestly. But we'll see. Unfortunately, I'm going by what I've seen at Chelsea, and I think it's looking bleak. My boss, nice to see you once again. I do hope you're doing well. I disagree. Esigo is very, very raw, and it isn't Chelsea ready. I think we pretty much said the same thing. And should go to Strasbourg. Ugo should be given a chance at Chelsea. Amogu should go on loan. We wait. Dario Isigo is very good, but he needs to develop. What a player! His energy and everything will make a difference in any midfield. I hope Liverpool players get a hungover. Good luck. They're not going to start all those players that were out partying, if that's what you believe. Man City in the last year's FA Cup final against Man United back in May of last season when Man United beat them. Hopefully, Chelsea can do the same today. I'm not gonna believe that we're gonna beat them because of what happened last year. Very raw, but he's playing every game, which means he's developing. Yeah, that's important. Playing as a young player, it's important to play. If you're not playing, you're not going to develop. Not going to lie, overall package, I trust Ugochukwu more than Santos. I think this. I'm sensing there's a bit of bias there. I don't know where you're from, but from the way you spoken, I think you're probably of Nigerian or at least African descent, and it looks you tend to defend African players quite a lot. And here I'm sensing a bit of bias here. I think Santos has a lot more to his game than Ukuchukwu. Both are good players. And again, it depends on the manager they play under. I think both can be excellent players for any club, in my opinion. Still very young, but Santos, you could say, more experience overall. I always cook Rodrigo because he rates Broncos. I think he can be sarcastic. If you don't know him, you think he's serious all the time. Did you watch Andrea Santos versus PSG? What a player! I didn't watch that game, but I've always known there's a talent there. I followed it. You could say I watched numbers, like following it in an app. Yeah, didn't find it on my TV. All I can say, they will not make it at Chelsea. I mean, it makes sense to say that. All right. Anything else? I think we're going to move on to the next item. Santos is for the Lavia position. Hopefully, okay. Santos is more of box to box. I don't know. I haven't taken my time to compare them. Ugochukwu played at top flight football longer, plus the Premier League experience compared to Santos. That's another argument, but it's up to the manager to decide. And hopefully, to make that decision easy, should we need to decide on whether he's to let him stay out there, I hope they finish in a position where they get a chance to participate in the next edition of the Champions League, which will make it easier to say, just play one more season in the Champions League with them. And he'd say yes without hesitation because, yeah, there, he's the main guy. I don't think he would forfeit playing in the Champions League with Strasbourg to come back to Chelsea where he'd be competing with, you could argue, a more experienced set of players and then end up not playing as much as he'd play if he stay at Strasbourg. So I hope they finish in the Champions League place, I think that will go a long way for us. I'm going to scroll to the very bottom. There's just a lot of comments there, and I can't read everything. As much as I enjoy interacting with you, if I decide, okay, I want to read everything you have, that'd be all we'll do for the rest of the day. But that's, by the way, thank you for all the good comments there. What is he saying? Up front against Jagudan, which Jagarden. I don't know how that is pronounced correctly. Dante, anything else you want to talk about before we start the match preview exercise proper? We still have the lineup prediction exercise to get done. Maybe we can get done as soon as possible so we can watch the games. I hope no game is coming out. No game is coming up until an hour time.
Yeah.
Anything that's not go ahead.
Yeah, no, there's no game. I don't think there's a game. No, that's it, Coach. We can move on. Just
all right. Thank you for that. Let's move on. What will we have here? We're gonna look at
my busters rambling on, and then Saint Tobago's comments. That's all.
Where's Tobago?
You know he's a saint, right? He got baptized as a saint.
I didn't know that.
You have to call him Saint Tobago from now on.
I didn't know that, honestly. Ugochukwu is a good player, a perfect lone DM. I think if you play him as a traditional DM, you'll be wasting his talent. He can drive with the ball. Bring back Jamaican Ginger. Who? I'm not sure what you're saying there, but by the way, I'm going to read these insights, and if after going through them you have anything to add, I want to hear your thoughts, Dante. We have 5 items on the Google insights. Okay, the first one reads that Chelsea are winless in their last 10 meetings with Liverpool in all competitions, drawn 7 and lost 3. Yep. I think the 2 we lost were 2 losses were under Pochettino, right?
Yes.
Then 1 at the start of this particular season.
Yeah, yep. I think 1 we got beaten pretty good, if I remember right.
Under Pochettino,
yeah. Yep.
Then at the start of the season, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Only once before going longer without a win over the Reds was in 11 in total from 1985 to 1990. Of course, losses had to be on the start on the Poch and who again? 2 on the Poch. Did he start on the Porter?
I think so.
Because we lost both games in the league.
No, maybe Tuchel? No.
The games we lost to Liverpool on the Tuchel were all on penalties, cup games.
I can't remember exactly, Coach.
Yeah,
exactly.
But that's by the way. Okay, the first item we've addressed that. What else do we have here? Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. The coolest Charles. Okay, laughing at you. Big up to you too, Chelsea 11. Nice to see you and the Chelsea family. What is your score predictions? We haven't gotten to that quite yet. But welcome to the show, and I can't wait for you to start your channel. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go along with Chelsea 2, Liverpool 1. Your prediction, we don't want to do the prediction now, but I read it. And I don't want to talk about jollof rice while I'm hosting shows my best, so leave me alone. The second item, after the 2-1 win in October, Liverpool are looking to complete their first league double over Chelsea since their title winning season 2019-2020. Who was our manager at the time?
2020. That would have been.
Was it Tuchel?
I think it was Tuchel, wasn't it? No, that's why I said Tuchel, but I can't remember now. I have to look it up.
Okay, okay. Campaign. Arne Slot could become only the 3rd Reds boss to win both of his first 2 league games.
Yeah.
It was Lampard. Okay. Okay, to win both of his first 2 league games against Chelsea in charge of the club after Bill Shankly and Roy Evans. Okay. I don't know those managers, but okay. We're learning some lessons there. It was Lampard, Chelsea 11, so thank you. Yep. Not Tuchel, but I just had to ask. I think a lot of draws under Thomas Tuchel. Item number 3 reads that Chelsea have picked up 17 points in their last 8 Premier League matches, won 5, drew 2, and lost 1. So we've actually picked up form. We've actually improved. But again, a lot of people don't care about this. It just want to bash the manager, the owners, and so on. So it's looking good for us, but Liverpool have been in better form, no question. Item number 4. Champions Liverpool have scored in each of their last 30 Premier League matches since a 1-0 defeat to Nottingham Forest in September. The only side to have a longer scoring run with a single campaign was Arsenal in the 2001-2002 campaign, who scored in all 38 games. So going by this particular item number 4 here on Google's insights list, Liverpool they will most definitely score. Not most definitely, they're most likely to score. It'd be difficult for this game to end and them not score. Let's just stick to a more, you could say, not definite language, because in football you cannot script this game. Anything can still happen. They could go 5 games now without scoring a single goal. That's football for you. But they're more likely to score than not, given this given this statistics here. The fact that they've scored in how many games in total? In their last 30 Premier League goals, it simply means they're more likely to score than not score. So yeah, and for us, you cannot say the same. And item number 5, Chelsea have not used a single player over the age of 27. That highlights the fact that we have one of the youngest, if not the youngest, I'm not sure, squad in the Premier League. Okay, let's read that again. Chelsea have not used a single player over the age of 27 in a Premier League match this season. With this run of it said with this run of 34 games, the longest by a side in Premier League history. The previous longest had been a run of only 6 by Liverpool in April and May of 2000. That's anything you want to say about that?
No, yeah, coach, we are the youngest. I think we're the youngest in the top 5 leagues. So, yeah, very young team. So, yeah, no surprise there. Yeah, no, that's why it's quite impressive what we're doing, because people don't look at that at all. I know they keep saying we need experience, but we're actually doing pretty well with such a young squad. Like I said, top 5 leagues, the youngest squad. So it can only get better. It can only get better, and they can only grow together, and it will improve.
Mm-hmm. Well, all right. We lost 2 games since February. Yeah, we've improved really. To CHELIV didn't want. Okay, contributed 0 to Chelsea. The only good thing he did was him scoring a goal against a Brazilian side, Palmeiras. He did score against Arsenal. That was good too.
Yeah, 2 goals on opening day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So that was, he started well actually. Coach, I hope Chelsea sign us in the summer. He's my first choice for the striker position. How he can press, finish, good in the air. He can also lead. He makes wingers along. Okay, he brings wingers alongside him. Okay, wingers alongside him. Good. He made Vara good. The former Napoli guy, now PSG guy. I just can't get along. I just can't say his name correctly. You're not biased, no. Coach Santos and Gochiku are the same age. It's only right to compare. No, I'm not saying. We're just having a conversation here. I hope you didn't take offense. It's not like I'm talking about untouchable Enzo Fernandez. No, but I get your point. What was the argument again? You're saying that he's better than. Was that what he said?
He's saying he would start Gochukwu over.
Okay, you said you take Ugochukwu over Santos. They're different, actually, in my opinion. And I think right now I'd take Santos over him. Even I'd go with the logic that he's played a lot more games than Ugochukwu has.
And look, Ugochukwu never put up anywhere near those numbers that Santos is putting up in France. So, and they played the same position basically.
And don't get me wrong, I love Ugochukwu. I understand how he applies himself on the pitch very well, and I would like him to get a chance at the club. But I wouldn't take him over Santos now. I would take Santos over him. honestly. Um, but that's my opinion, and you're entitled to your opinion too, bro. Neto and Sancho will thrive alongside Osimhen, Jackson as well. We do put a lot of we we do put. How am I gonna phrase this differently? Okay, we put a we cross the ball. we use, we orchestrate a lot of crosses. So yeah, if we have a point man like Osimhen, I think he'll be scoring a lot of goals. Um, all right, but here's the thing. Something I'm gonna say quickly. I think we're beginning to actually get at the end of those crosses more than usual. So we spammed a lot of crosses into the box, but our players, you can say, haven't gotten used to the approach of getting the of being available for the crosses, or maybe we have not been. In most cases, we have not been crossing with intent. We just put it inside the box. But pay attention to when Enzo Fernandez is the one that crosses. He crosses with intent. He just doesn't put it into the box and then hope for one of our players to
And
get
with
at
his
the
head
end
up,
of it.
always looking.
Sorry.
With his head up, that's the point I made
Yeah, with
about
his head up.
Madueke.
More
His head's always
importantly.
down on his crossing.
Yeah. So he just doesn't cross for the sake of it. He crosses with intent. Yeah, I agree. Neto and Sancho, yeah, I think all of them will. I think the will score. Our defense is atrocious. I don't expect us to, but here's the thing:
Depends who's
irrespective
playing.
of what we
Depends.
think
Yeah.
of our defense, we've not been bad to the extent where you say we've been atrocious defensively.
If
It's
Darwin Nunes is playing coach, he's going to hit the bar like 4 or 5 times. So you never know.
Uh, uh, yeah, I think it's been mistakes here and there, and that's what drives your argument that our defense is atrocious. So it's agreeable. Did you see Manchester United lineup? I haven't seen it actually. What did they do? Fofana has played a total 34 appearances. It's crazy. 3 seasons, right? Tosin also is at 34 appearances. Is
In
it
total, yeah.
okay? The entirety of their Chelsea career. So I'm not sure how to see that. For me, the worst signing for Chelsea, not Lukaku. You could say Lukaku was okay. I think his departure was, you can argue, premature. Had he stayed, I think he'd do a lot better eventually. But that interview ruined everything. He didn't actually. It wasn't a. He. We've had strikers that have had worse starts to their Chelsea careers than
Mhm.
Lukaku.
Exactly, yeah.
So I think what clouds the whole thing is the interview. So people just judge based on interview. Uh, would I have loved us to sign him? No, I did argue at the time that under Thomas Tuchel is going to be an issue. Yeah, but go ahead, Dante. You wanted to add something to that?
Yeah, exactly. People just remember the interview, so the hate is there, unfortunately. But
Yeah,
he didn't do that bad. It was just wrong timing, wrong player, wrong coach, wrong system, basically. So
wrong
it wasn't very
attitude.
smart business from.
Wrong attitude. Yeah,
Yeah, that was one Abramovich signed off. Maria as well. They did not really look at that. They just went for the name and the money, unfortunately, and they didn't look at the fit and the system too well.
and here's the thing also. To an extent, I blame Tom Tuchel. He's my favorite
Oh
Chelsea
yeah,
manager until that changes.
100%.
Because had he said clearly, "No, I don't want him," it's not going to work. Roman will listen because what Roman just wanted to do was to make him happy. As the manager just won us the Champions League, the Club World Cup. No, not the Club World Cup was before after the arrival of Lukaku, but the European Super Cup, right? And
Mm, I don't
and the
remember.
Champions League, yeah. Before we signed him. Wasn't that what happened? Am I mixing things up? Was he here when we won the Super Cup? But here's the thing. More importantly, my point
No.
is Roman wanted to make him happy. So had he said, no, it won't work, given the way I like to play, I don't think would sign the check. Sign the
Look, I
check
think the
is just,
structure was very different back then. The structure
yeah,
was
Sign the
Maria had
check
the
is
power.
just metaphorical.
Yeah,
There's a way they do the transaction, but it's just to
yeah.
get a point across. Go ahead. You were saying something.
Yeah, they did business differently back then, and the system was very different. They looked at players that they think world class players. Basically, they looked at some of those that they wanted a big name signing. We needed a striker, and he was the one available. And unfortunately, yeah, I don't know if Tuchel said yes or no. I don't believe
I
he would
don't
have
think
said
we'd
yes.
sign the check if he didn't say yes. I don't think so, honestly.
I don't think he would have said yes because he doesn't really suit as much his system. Uh,
But at
but
the
if he
same
didn't speak
time,
up,
Dante,
yeah,
let
he
me
didn't
ask you
speak up.
this.
Look, and he wasn't here that long, to be
No,
honest. So
yeah,
I don't think he
yes, the
had too much
language is that
power
he
to
didn't
speak
speak
up,
up.
did the coach.
But can I ask you this? Do you think we started looking at Lukaku, continued negotiating, and he had no say until Lukaku arrives? If you remember, there were interviews before
Yeah.
again, I think I think he did say something. I don't know quite. He did say something that suggests, yeah, he was part of the process.
Yeah, maybe they gave him a list and said, but I don't think it was a specific one. I just don't see Tuchel saying yes to that type of striker in his system, to be honest. So
Because from Mainz to Borussia Dortmund to Paris Saint Germain, that's not his way.
no, it's not his way. No, it's not
Yeah,
his way. Definitely not his way. And I think don't forget, Tuchel wasn't there very long, coach. He was still brand new, basically. So he really didn't have much power or input. And especially when had success right then. I mean, yeah, look, I don't know. You'll never know that unless Tuchel comes out and actually says it 100% and someone says it. But like someone said in the chat there, uh, um, yeah, when we bought Shevchenko, I do remember that Jose Mourinho did say he did not want Shevchenko, but he was the best player available, so he accepted Shevchenko because that's what Roman wanted. So
okay, let
I
me
do
ask you
remember
this.
that.
Let me ask
Yeah,
you this. Now, he accepted means he was even asked in the first place, do you want him? Can you make it work? I'm still saying
yeah. No, but
after that Champions League win and the way we wanted the teams would beat, had
yeah.
Thomas Tuchel said no, it's not gonna work, I think we'd look elsewhere.
Well, that's why we blaming it on Tuchel. If he didn't speak up, well, then that's
And
very much
yeah,
his
exactly.
fault.
So, and definitely he didn't speak up because there's no way we'd finish the process. Maybe even if he I saw confined stress starting 11. I'm saying we it was about the
One
women's
thing I
team.
will say though, coach, coach
Just
like
one
Tuchel, he's
second,
very,
Dante. We
very.
have just 1 second. Let me say this.
Yeah, go ahead.
We don't see a world where there's no world where he didn't know we were going after Romelu Lukaku. And had he said no, I don't think we'd force it on him because Roman wanted to change. We were we wanted to get the manager the player he wants, in my opinion. That's what I
Yeah,
believe. But even if that wasn't the case, even if Roman just likes Lukaku for the sake of it and tries to force it on him, had he said no, I don't think we still sign Lukaku. That's where I blame Thomas Tuchel, even if he wasn't informed, which is not possible for the club to go after a player without the manager having first-hand knowledge of the player they're trying to get to sign. So I blame him to some extent. And I did, I think, how many interviews with have hope. I told him this is not gonna work. That his Thomas Tuchel is not known to play with such players. And his response was that at least he's better than Timo Werner. I think Isham Bahadra the same thing. But go ahead with what you're saying.
yeah, I agree. But look, one thing I will say about Tuchel at that time, he was very confident, very cocky, and he thought he could make it work. You never know. He probably was that confident. He wanted, to show how good he is. You get me that. I'll even put that up, put him up front, sign that guy, make a big splash, all the news record. It was the record signing at the time. Let's not forget, it was all over the place. He might have been. He said, "Okay, I'll make it work. I'm that good. I believe in myself that much. I'm going to make it work." So maybe that was the case as well. We know how confident he was at that time, and we know there was some reports that his off-field, what can I say? His off-field,
Behavior, maybe.
yeah, his off-field behavior, but also his aggressiveness and, like I said, very cockiness led to that, and that was reported off the field. He had a little bit of a problem with, as you know what I'm talking about, the a bit of substance abuse, and we don't know 100%, but that's what was reported. So I'm just going by that.
Man,
And
you're
yeah,
sounding
you
like a
never know.
YouTuber
He
now.
might
You
have
know
been.
language to use to avoid issues.
Yes, I don't want to get you in trouble. So yeah, look, he was, and he did have that problem, and he pretty much admitted it after that. He did have a little bit problem. He went basically overseas to get rehab on it. So yes, and let's not forget he went through the divorce as well. So yeah, look, who knows? We don't know 100%, but yeah, like you say, and like I said, he really didn't fit his system. But I can see Tuchel not saying maybe, yeah, I'll make it happen. He was that confident and that high on himself. He maybe said, let's splash the cat, let's get him. I'll make it happen. I'll show you that I can do it.
Oh yeah, thank you. It's been an excellent conversation so far. I think we're going to get to discussing the match after I'll get the comment from some of you that I haven't read any of your comments. I don't have issues skipping my boss's comments. He's my bro. Open goal miss. So he's following. Has the game? When of the game started already? What am I
No,
missing? I think he's referencing a game that was played on another day.
no, it's
Um,
another 40 minutes.
Yeah. This is Coach Roman forced Shevchenko onto Jose Mourinho. Jose said so himself. So why do you think Roman would give Tuchel more respect than Jose? I'm not saying respect. If he said no, we'll hear about him saying no, that he doesn't want Lukaku, and then Lukaku was forced on him. That's the argument I'm making here. If he insists he doesn't want him, I don't think we'll sign him. But he probably, because he wants to keep his job, or probably because, like Dante explained, he was cocky, full of himself, feeling like, yeah, he can perform miracles, and say, yeah, bring him. And then it was during his presses that we learned he's not into building a team around a single individual. When he was asked that question, because that's the way you get the best out of Lukaku. Look, it's a risk. I don't want a team built around a single individual. Yeah,
No,
it's a risk. You can argue we couldn't win the Champions League because, yeah, it was about Hazard at the time, even though he's one of my favorite
not
Chelsea
in the Premier
players.
League. No, not in the
Yeah,
Premier League. Not in a fast-paced
maybe
league.
the Premier League, yeah,
No.
you can do that, but beyond that, it becomes difficult.
Yeah.
But that's by the way. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show this particular morning. Please, I can't read everything. I enjoy interacting with you. All our panelists do enjoy interacting with you. But if we stick with that be all we do for the day, and then we can't do anything else. And people, go check out Tebeho's YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe. Let's help him get to 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible. That will go a long way. You can see that there. Let's see. Not started. Okay. Let's see. Tuchel is always cocky when it comes to transfers. Okay. He says, I like Tuchel, but the only thing he's good at is to inherit a squad that is. Tuchel cannot rebuild due to his talent ID being awful. I think that's just you echoing what the big accounts were saying at the time. Yeah, but that's fine. I thought you were going to be in church. I don't expect to see you today, my nemesis. But Vic, nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well, and I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. So let's move on. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. We get back to this here. Did we read all of them? We have. Yeah, we have read all the insights on Google here. So let's go to the insights on FODMOB itself. More, you could say, tighter. This is more the most important thing we should know about. Google's is more like history. Okay, let's see. Usually I vote deep down. I think this game is going to end in a draw. If we win, I'll take it. I'll go for a draw. Let's see. 31% thinks, I think we're winning this one. Here's I have hope. 31% thinks Chelsea will win. 59% thinks Liverpool will definitely beat Chelsea. That's usually a good sign for me. And then 10% thinks it ends in a draw. So To me, I usually see that as a good sign. Top scorers, fourth mob rating for them, 8.14 for Mo Salah, seasoned, and for Cole Palmer, 7.66. Goals in Mo Salah 28, Cole Palmer 14. Expected goals. Wow. Mo Salah is outperforming his XG, and Cole Palmer is slightly underperforming his XG. Assists, Mo Salah has 18 assists in total. Cole Palmer has 8 assists in total. Matches played, about the same. Mo Salah has played 34 matches and Cole Palmer has played 33 in total. Wow, that's something. Let's talk about this Dante. Didn't what's his name? Didn't Enzo Maresca say that what's his name? Malo Gusto's injury, that he wasn't looking good, but he was on the bench against Jaguden, and I'm looking at Chelsea's list of injured Chelsea players. He's not here. We have Christopher Nkunku. He'll be out until mid-May. I don't want to say thank God. I'd go straight to hell. Gabriel Slonina, mid-May, not important. Mark Gui may be doubtful. I hope he is. I wouldn't mind starting him and Nicola Jackson in the same game. Robert Sanchez probably going to start, even if he says he's going to be out till November 2039. Wesley Fofana, we know his case. Amari Hutchinson. So Malo Gusto isn't listed as injured here, and he was on the bench in our last game, in our European game. But let's hear you. It looks like he's fine.
No, I think he's fine. I think he said in the interview that I think he's okay, but yeah, doesn't mean he's 100%, but he's okay. He's ready to go. He won't, he'll probably come on or start and get off early, one of the two. But yeah, we'll see exactly what happens there. But I think he's okay to go. Probably for a good 40, 50, 60 minutes, he's probably good to go.
Okay. And Blue and Farsa is educating us on something here. Roman is part of Ukrainian on his mother's side. That's an important information. And wanted Shevchenko. He also wanted Torres, but generally kept away from transfers. This is a very important information. He was good friends with Shevchenko. I remember that.
Yes, they've met many times. They partied many times. Yes, they had acquaintances. Yes.
So Blue and Falsa, thank you for that information. Sincerely do appreciate that. Let's see quickly. We want to get to discussing the game. Chelsea's banter era for 23-24 season started when Tuchel's wife broke up with him, having mental health issues and his tactics. You can argue we have a rotten squad at the time. For some reason, I'm not sure what happened after we won the Champions League. That needs to be studied. I can't just off the bat and say what I think was the issue. I know we had a lot of players of similar profiles at the time, which is also an issue in its own. Was an issue in its own. Let's talk about personal stuff. No, we shouldn't. We should not. We should not. I am giving it
Thank you,
till
Beggar.
October. If Palmer is still struggling, time to sell. It's not up to us to decide. But if we sense that he's not committed to the, probably the owners say, okay, but it would take a lot to convince Chelsea to sell. Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, but it's not going to happen anyway. All right, let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. Dante, anything else? The insights. We haven't looked at the insights yet. Usually more detailed, or you could say it has more substance, maybe, because it's something you could say that will help you decide on what the most likely outcome will be for this game. We have scored 10 goals. Chelsea have scored 10 goals in their last 5 matches. Liverpool have scored 11 goals in their last 5 matches. So it's still within the margin of error, because 1 is nothing. It could still go either way. We can still beat them. They can still beat us. It could 3 ways it can go. It can be a loss for us, a win for them, or a draw. Because 1 goal, not that much of a difference. Nani Madueke starts the most shots on target per game, 1.6. And Liverpool have been awarded the most penalties, 90 in total. That's an area of concern, because history does have a habit of repeating itself. Cole Palmer is ranked third in big chances created, 20 in total. Liverpool have kept the most clean sheets. Okay, here's the thing. Now, Liverpool, they scored more goals than us. One more. Listen, it's still within the margin of error. Like I've explained, it could go either way. But the fact that they've kept the most clean sheets, and we have not been scoring quite a lot of late, it looks like a game that could end in again in them beating us or end in a draw. It's still tight. No, the
Yeah.
disparity in goals scored, it's not that much. Okay, let's look at goal concession, because the clean sheet is again the entirety of the season so far, but is for the season so far, not the entirety, so to speak. So let's look at how the goal concession in their last 5 games. For Liverpool, okay, they conceded one here, conceded one here. Not in 2 games, they kept 2 clean sheets in 5 games, and we kept how many clean sheets in 5 games? One. So it's still the numbers is still leaning to the side of a slim win by Liverpool, but I'm going to mention again, it's still within the margin of error, which means it could still go 3 ways. There are 3 ways it could go: a draw, a win, or a loss for it, for both, for Liverpool and us, not just us, but more on our end losing than them losing. So they've considered in 5 games, they considered 1 goal here, 2 goals here, 4 in total. And in 5 games, we considered 2 here, 1 here, that's 3. Considered 1 here, that's 4. Considered 1 here, that's 5. So we considered 1 more. So it's looking like a game that that will end in a slim win by either of the teams. There's not going to be a lot of goals, but that is just more like a possibility. It's not a certainty. Chances are it ends in a blowout, because this is
I actually
football.
think there'll be goals.
Yeah, you simply cannot script football, which was why Leicester City were able to win the league when they did. Go ahead, you were saying something.
I think there'll be goals. Liverpool will play 3. There's no pressure on them. They're gonna want to play attract. They're gonna attack. They're not gonna play defensive football. They've won the title already, coach. So that's looking at those games there. They were trying to wrap up the title. They were playing a little bit more defensive, and they were just trying to get the wins, trying to get the result. Now they're going to
Would you
be
say
free
a
to
little
play
more
whatever.
like a celebratory game for them?
Yeah, they're gonna be free to play attacking football. They're gonna go. They won't mind. Defend. The coach is not gonna be on their back as much. He's just gonna let them, enjoy themselves and play. So I think there'll be goals. I think they're gonna look to score. They're gonna look to just attack and play for fun. And like I said, nothing to lose. Some of the players that'll come in, like we said earlier, they might be a bit hungry to prove to be there next season. They'll want to show that they belong.
Which makes it
Um,
difficult for us.
which makes it a bit difficult, but I don't see them being very defensive because of that either. Because, like what I said, they'll be 3 and they'll just want to attack more, and they won't have that defensive aspect that they normally have.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I think it'll be a high scoring game in my opinion. I think they'll probably, be. I think we can probably score 2 or 3 goals, and I wouldn't be surprised if they score a couple as well. So I think it'll be a pretty high scoring game in my personal opinion.
Honestly, I'm going to stick with it being a tight one.
Yeah.
But let's see. And I think they'd like to do a double for us, over us, because it's important. It earns them a psychological edge going into next season.
One thing that I will say, when you've actually won like a league or something, I've been a part of that once. The game you play after, you don't look at defending too much. You
Mhm.
just want to have fun and you want to attack and you want to play 3, and the coach lets that happen as well, because they've done the hard work, they've earned it, so he lets them express themselves a lot more. He's not going to yell at them, he's not going to be tight with them. He's just going to let them play and let them enjoy themselves. And I've experienced that once, like I said, when that happened, and that's exactly what happened. We actually lost the game. It was like 4-2, I think we lost the game, if I remember correctly. So, like, again, that's why I'm going high scoring. I just see them they're not going to be very defensive. They're going to
No,
play
they won't be.
offensive. And what are
And
we
you can
good
say
at?
that has not actually not been their thing.
No, it hasn't, not lately, because they've been very tight. They're trying to they were trying to win the Premier League and just get it over and done with as soon as possible. So they were playing a little bit tighter, a bit more defensive, and still going forward, but not to the like they were playing like a couple of months ago, where they were a more free flowing football. So, and that's expected. They just wanted to get across the line, get it done. But now they're going to be free again, and they're going to open up, and they will play expansive football, and they will attack a lot. And we're pretty good at teams that do that. When teams open up against us, we can exploit that space in behind very, very well.
All right, let's see what happens. Hazard did something similar. He had a similar struggle like Copam Hazard struggled during the 15-16 season, but 16-17 season he started playing well. Palmer can do. I mean, like I said, I think Gary Cahill. I've seen the best response in terms of uh, um, Cole Palmer situation, that he's not surprised, that that's expected of a young player. Go through that experience, learn from it. I think the biggest problem, like Bobby explained, is that I think it's getting to him. 15-16 Hazard was underperforming. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. Yes, second. What else do we have here? Okay. Maresca tactics are killing Palmer's. No, that's
No.
I don't agree with you on that one. I think Zhao would have been a good competition for him, but Maresca is stubborn in his way. I can agree. The latter part of your comment, I agree. He had the opportunity to create a healthy competition between the two players, but he didn't. What else do we have here? Let's get this done as soon as possible to go watch games. Apparently, senior players were unhappy with Tuchel because of his treatment of Billy Gilmore. Also, a friend of at Cobham told me he didn't communicate with Hutchinson, Chukwuemeka, and Casadei. I don't know what happened. A lot happened. But the one I
Those are
hit the
young kids.
most,
Those are young kids, and back then
Yeah.
they were much younger.
Yeah.
I don't.
what I
Coaches like
heard-
that, he wasn't that type of coach to go for the youngsters like that. He's
no, he
That
wasn't.
was not his priority.
It wasn't. And here's something I want to say quickly. I've heard a lot with regards to what happened behind the scenes. One of them was that from the owners. I think it was one of a club owner that was telling the media that when they were discussing why Thomas Tuchel was let go after such a, you could argue, important season where he basically, you could argue, he performed miracles. They did say, the club owner did say something to the effect of that if you heard what Thomas Tuchel did, you'd fire him too. I say it doesn't matter to me if you don't tell me what it is. I will not never listen to you.
Yeah.
And I will not believe you telling me if I heard what he did that I'd fire him. That's absolute hustling. But that's, by the way. So we've heard a lot. We just don't know. The truth remains, one of the things we've heard is definitely the truth. But I'm not
treating players like young players like that.
Mhm.
He would say that. He didn't say, because you can't say stuff like that public. You can say it the way he did, but he can't say he can't say it out loud, unfortunately.
Yeah. And this guy here is Shan Bahadra, my bro, my Indian bro. I love him so much. One of the first panelists. You can say I did one-on-one shows. I think I did one of the shows about Lukaku. He really does Lukaku. I grilled him during the show, but he's a lovely guy. I like to talk football with him. Big up, bro. Nice to see you. I appreciate you. I hope things are going well on your end. I hope your absence simply means that you've been busy. Always, always nice to see you. Much love to you. Let's celebrate you joining us here, actually. I'm not, oh, we won't work now. Let me see. But I'm going to celebrate you because you know I love you, Ishan. Much love.
I know, fireworks.
Yeah. No, I love him. He's a very important person to this channel. Yeah, I appreciate that. Ishan, nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. Your presence do mean a lot. Does mean a lot to us here. I'm doing well. I can't complain. Up the Charles, big up, bros. Big up to you too, my bro, Ankit. Almighty Blues FC. Go check out his YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe. Let's help him get to 20K subscribers as soon as possible. He deserves that. We started together. We've come a long way. We've gone from being a fellow content creators to brothers. Much love to you, brother. Always nice to see you. I appreciate you finding the time to join. Ishan, nice to see you. But when we were scoring goals, no one was saying his tactics are killing his. Exactly. He actually started the season better than he did last season. And look at in a few games he scored nearly the amount of goals he scored last season, the entirety of last season. Actually,
Let's not forget he had 8 more
Mm.
penalties last season scored.
Yeah, exactly. That's an excellent point too. But unfortunately, when again, what term am I going to use? When a girl says no to a guy, usually the guy just results to saying she's ugly anyway. Without context, if you get my
Yeah.
point there. You disagree about what, and Vic, go back to church. High scoring game. Oh, wow. Okay. If that happens, we are losing heavily. Lord Dante, our goal scoring against top Premier League teams isn't great. I think that's a point to bear in mind. But
It
let's see.
isn't. Normally, under
Mhm.
normal circumstances, yes.
That's another way to put it. Blue and first out, the cooler circuit, just having a good conversation there. So let's get back. Anything you want to say before we get back, get to the lineup prediction exercise? You don't believe in the insights, right? Do you?
So and so, coach. Depends. Some are good, some are not that good. But hey, everything helps.
Okay. So you want us to move to the lineup prediction exercise?
Yeah, let's just get on with that one. Let's finish that one
Okay. Maestro
before Vic says
reveals.
some other stuff.
Okay. Reviews that the main reason for playing style is that the squad is not good enough for transitional style game. He says all CFC games under him was when it became a
Of
back and
course.
forth transition. Yeah. All right, let's go.
Yeah.
Keep dropping the likes on the shin, people. The likes do go a long way. Let's get to the lineup prediction exercise. I don't know. Okay, let's go one by one. Let's get it done as soon as possible so we can go watch other games that come on before us. We do have a pre-game show. Whether we do a post-game show, I don't know quite yet. Dante, let's start with your lineup. If you want, the goalkeeping department, very difficult, but I've done some research. I can help you plug in that one. Up to you.
Bettinelli, yep.
Let's hear you, Dante.
Yeah, well, Sanchez, if he's 100% fit, he'll start. If he's got a problem, maybe
Was
Wilkinson.
he not on the bench in our last game?
Yeah, coach, he was, but he was. Him and
He
Nkunku
was
picked up.
just there for, you can say, just being part of the squad, just to be
Yeah,
with
yeah,
them.
yeah. Him and Nkunku picked up a little injury in training, I think it was. So then, but I think he's fine now. I think he's over it. He's fine.
All right, so you think it's going to be who? Sanchez?
Sanchez, yeah.
Okay. Another difficult position, the left back position. Let's start from there.
Yeah, you can put him already. Cucurella, yep.
Quickly, Heto. Do you know him well enough to educate us on the type of player he is?
I haven't
What I
watched games. I
Mhm.
have seen highlights of him and like I watched a video of what he does, how he plays, etc. He's not. He's good. He's very young. He's very very young. I think he's 19. So he's got a bit of experience because he's played the last couple of years game in game out AX. He's played quite a lot of games, so he's got a bit of experience at playing in Europe and for Ajax. But I don't. I would sign someone that's much closer to Cucurella style that can copy, that can basically a Cucurella style player that can really mirror his game and really do that really well as a someone to
The
compete with
aspects
him.
of inviting.
Yeah, someone his style of his mold of player like Cucurella. I would go for someone like that. Look, Hato's good. He's young. He's still growing, so he might actually get taller and bigger, and then that completely changes his positioning. At that age, that's why it's hard at that age. Those young guys, they get pretty big pretty quickly. So he's still growing. He's growing. I think he grew an inch last year, and he still keeps growing. He might just end up as again like a bit like what's his name Well, he was short and then he got tall. I forgot his name. But anyway, you know what I'm saying. He might just end up as a centre back, not really being able to play that left back role because he's going to be too tall,
He-
too
he-
laggy,
yeah, here's the
not going to be
interesting
able
thing
to
I
do that.
saw. What I saw
Yeah,
is that he's a center back, but
he's
has
more of
been
a left centre
used
back that can play a left
occasionally.
back in a street,
Yeah,
but he
exactly.
cannot do the Cucurella role. No chance doing Cucurella role, not even close.
So maybe we're looking at him as a center back.
I don't know. I'm not sure. Uh, I think we're linked with everyone, coach. Haven't you noticed? We're linked with every single player in Europe. So
Yes, we are. I'd have to agree. We're linked with the move for everyone. Yeah. So two
yeah,
center backs. Let's hear you.
yeah. Colwell and
You sure? You sure, Cowell? You sure?
yeah, it's in his contract. I have to put him. Shalava.
Yeah, definitely. Those two look they look like the more preferred pairing for uh, uh the manager
For now,
preferred.
anyway.
Yeah, yeah, Chalib and
For
Chalib.
now,
I appreciate his improvement. I hope he keeps it up. Go ahead.
exactly. Let's hope he doesn't go back to the old Shalava. So
No, I
hopefully
hope not. But it
continues.
doesn't look like he will.
Well, he's only had 2 good games in a row, coach. That's
I
not
no,
much.
I'd say 3, 4 games in a row, in my
No, no,
opinion.
no.
Okay,
2 games,
okay.
2 solid games in a row. Before that, he had 5 horrible
Even the
games.
2 solid games in a row, I'll take that. And have you heard him speak about the manager? He's happy. Maybe that's the key to him doing as well as he's doing. And I did say the other day, he looks, you say, looks like a player who's playing with the manager's confidence, knowing that the manager trusts him.
Yeah, and he's a bit more experienced. He's strong as well. He's quite a strong guy as well. So, look, he's doing well now. I hope it continues. That's all I'll say. I think he probably might be moved on at the end of the season. There's a high chance that will happen. Maybe he stays. Depends who we're looking at. But for now, I hope he continues that he continues this form because um, he's doing very well the last 2 games. But like I said before that, he wasn't doing very well at all. He did very well the first game he come in. He was an amazing man of the match, and then 4 or 5 games in a row he was pretty bad. So hopefully he's a bit more settled now with Colwell, and they continue to the end of the season doing well.
Mhm. And here's something that I want to say here quickly. Uh, um, I say he's saying the Kula says I used to work at the bridge. Okay, that's important. But some UK reports Parma. Okay, prerogative. Okay, Parma isn't happy with tactics. Even if Parma isn't happy with the tactics isn't the reason why he's had plenty of chances to score nearly twice as much, at least you could say 50% more goals than he scored last season, and didn't look confident.
He sprayed every those show. He sprayed him left, right, over the top. His
He's
passing lanes
Yeah, exactly.
haven't been that good. His
So,
passing's been off. His dribble, yeah, he's
so
just doesn't confident to be honest. Nothing to do
yeah,
with the tactics because these are the same tactics all season. They've been the same, pretty similar. He has the free roll to drop deep when he wants, and he wants the ball, so he drops deep a little bit more often the last few games because he's hungry for the ball. But
mhm.
he's got a free roll to do that. If he wants to drop deep and get involved in the play, he can do that, and he does that.
Yeah, and the truth, yeah.
He can go left, he
Listen,
can go right, he can do whatever he wants on the pitch. He's got a free roll to
yeah,
do what he
exactly.
wants.
So he even has the chance to. Yes, then the fact that he's had the opportunity to score 50% more goals than he scored at this point last season, for me, that trumps the argument that the tactics is the issue.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And you have to also account for the fact that he had plenty of chances to score a lot of penalties last season.
Yeah, I think 8 more. So if he had 8 more penalties, well, he's had the same stats
Exactly.
as last season.
Yeah, so that trumps the argument that the tactics is the issue. It's not. He's just trying too much, and it looks like it's getting. You can say the
The pressure's
struggle
getting
to
to
put
him,
away
yeah.
chances is getting into his head right now. But
Yeah.
thank you for that. You play to your squad strength. If you believe your squad isn't good enough for your tactics, Tuchel had the same. I think he's doing it. There's something I've tried to explain 1,000 times, and I don't know how else to explain it. We get back to the line of breathing exercise. Listen, let me break it down one by one. Maybe I and Dante need to do a video on this. First, we started the season the way he likes to play mainly we were scoring goals like this. But if you paid attention, we were also conceding goals like this too.
Yep.
So he was smart enough to realize, okay, we cannot almost always outscore oppositions, which was what Lampard didn't do when he was our manager. He didn't realize, yeah, we score a lot of goals, but we concede a lot. He didn't make moves to sort out the defensive lapses or to start protecting the defensive line from the midfield area. He just continued with it. Helter scatter or scattergun approach every game. But he realized that. Then he introduced Lavia and temporarily removed Enzo Fernandez. And then people were saying at the time, that was it. Enzo is done at Chelsea. But if you understand football, you'd know that it was a temporary thing. The manager's focus at the time was to sort out our defensive issues, but he wants it to start from the midfield area. That's where the protection starts. Because if your midfielders cannot defend, then your defense will face a lot of pressure, which will lead to primary school level mistakes. So he brought in Lavia, and it did sort out the issue at the time. But one thing became evident at the time also, we started creating less chances. Because whether you like it or not, whether Enzo Fernandez was the one creating the chances before he was taken off or not, he was part of us, our transitional plays, because he has good vision. Just get it to him. Sometimes he doesn't need the first touch to orchestrate a good pass that will help us start an attack. We started, so in his absence, we started creating less and less chances, but we were becoming more defensively solid and still winning games, but not scoring quite a lot. And then he did find a way to use the three of them. Then, boom, Lavia got injured again. That's like hitting the reset button. What did he do? He adapted, quote unquote, what the fans see as boring football, which is simply a controlled approach to the game. Not going into games with a scattergun approach, just attack, with not playing with balance. He didn't want that. He wanted us to pick and choose when we attack. But unfortunately, the average football fan sees win, lose, or draw. Results drive how they see a performance. But if you understand football, you'd know he just wants to play with balance. And gradually, if you're paying attention, controlling games, managing games is less of an issue than it was last season. We've seen games where we decided, okay, it's 1-0, we have a few minutes, let's just finish it. And we were able to do it and do it effectively, just like the old Chelsea. That's down to the manager understanding what he needs to do. Again, that's my opinion. You can disagree.
And that's down to the players knowing exactly that, when to do it as well.
Yeah. Exactly. So he's drilled them down to knowing when to attack and when not to risk too much. Because if you pay attention to how we attack, we usually have 5, 6, 7 players attacking at the same time. So we've mastered how to do it with balance, that even if you get a chance to hit us on the counter, we'll almost always recover in most cases. It won't always work. So eventually, we're starting to see a more solid performance. They're starting to play like mature players, but there's still that aspect of how they perform under pressure. That's how the aspect I'm still paying attention to, which is something that comes with experience.
That he can't coach too much.
Yeah. So they're still very young. And I think it was Tabejo that nailed it in one of our shows, that he's concerned that when those teams that are vying for places in the top 5 position, once they play before us, he's concerned how our players are going to deal with the pressure. And he was correct. That's the aspect I'm still paying attention. That aspect, learn to play under pressure, which comes with experience, and then sign a striker. For me, we need a traditional 10, in my opinion. I don't think we need to sign a goalkeeper. I think next season, we'll be fine, in my opinion. So lack of understanding of what is happening is the reason most people, once a big account says it's boring, that's it. That's the narrative you hear for the rest of the week. And I saw Pies asking the question, why can't we play like we played against Jagodin every week? That's the difference. The approach of the opposition matters.
Exactly.
And Maresca is so detail oriented that I get it. People are calling one trick pony. That's their business. And I've explained the reason being that the basics remain the same. Having one player pop up whenever we have the ball to complete the triangles and help us gain a numerical advantage over the opposition at any given time. That's the basic, one of the basics of his approach, and also keeping the ball, one of it. But beyond that, there's a lot of stuff he does differently. But if you believe that he's one trick pony, that's your business. But I've tried to break down how things morphed into how we play right now. People are saying, yeah, we were good at the start of the season because, off of what Pochettino did, off of what who did. But I get your opinion, bro. And this is the sort of conversation I like here. It's really good. Off topic, we remember last season when coaches were saying Cucurella was too short. I know a lot of people that said that. But I never get over. If you understand football, you'd know him. If anything, I think Maresca is making good use of that perceived erratic approach from Cucurella. But erratic, but effective, really. Like, we're going to round up soon so we can go watch the game. But thank you for that. What else do we have here? CHELIV and Fofana and ready for this level. I mean, it's your opinion. They're not. Actually, in all honesty, they need to prove CHELIV is doing well now. I hope he continues like that. With Cole Palmer missing his chances, we shouldn't. He's missing, exactly. Get chances, miss them. That's not on the manager. So Dante, let's continue the lineup building exercise. Apologies, people. I cannot read everything, Coach. Once everyone played us, they found out how to play us. It wasn't a surprise to me. Ipswich did so well against us last season. He threw away 17 points, only taking the title on last day of the season. Here's the thing. Irrespective of what people say about him, the phrase is usually preceded with not necessarily, because there's the word he
and
comes
just to add to
before
that, Coach, he's
nearly.
going by stats there. I bet you he didn't watch those games, and he doesn't know who was available, what players, how many injuries, how many suspensions in those last games. He didn't have a big squad like he has. They didn't have a very big squad.
Yeah, and listen, and the word nearly, always part of the conversation that he nearly bottled. He did. More importantly, he did not.
Look what Leicester's doing after he left.
Yeah, exactly. So he's an excellent manager. He just needs time. Stylistic. Yeah. What's the language I'm looking for? I think is that the most correct word. Ideological, maybe. I can't quite what word. But here's the thing. He will get him the players he wants, and we will be unbeatable. And one thing a lot of people are paying attention to win the Premier League, you need control. Why do you think Poch will never ever win the Premier League?
Not just Premier League, he'll never win nothing.
Yeah, because he hardly ever plays with control. It is always scattergun. Almost always scattergun. So Dante, let's get your lineup done. Right back, what do you think happens there?
I think you might see Caicedo there again.
I no need to do my lineup. I think you nailed the back line. That's exactly what I do. And the application being the back three. I think so.
Yeah. Caicedo into midfield after, in possession.
All right.
Yeah, I think Lavia will start with Enzo.
So Lavia here. We know the application is more like a 3-2-4-1 or so. So Lavia here. Yeah, I think Lavia definitely starts.
He has to. It's the run-in. He's fit now. Like I said, he'll be on a minute restriction. He probably won't play more than 60 minutes, 70 minutes max. But he will start and he will play the rest of the season if he's available. So, him and Enzo. Yeah, I think Palmer will play again.
No, not even
saying that we should bench him. Maybe
he's gonna play.
I just think at home he will play. Yeah, he's just going to give him the benefit of the doubt for the rest of the season to see how he goes. Try to get him back. It is what it is. can you change him? Who are you going to put in? KDH is probably the one you would put in that position, and he has been playing very well since he's playing the last few games. So big surprise if that happens, but yeah, I think Palmer will start.
And Tabeo, I don't think it really matters because Enzo is not going to be here. He will move up as one of the 2 10s, and this guy will be central. So
Yeah,
this is just a starting structure. That's what I've learned to call it because the application almost always different. Go ahead so that we can go join the game. I think we can.
Yeah, look, I think Neto will play on the right, and I think Sancho will play on the left. I don't think Madueke starts this game.
You don't think so?
No.
I think Madueke starts.
Most likely, because his adopted son, but I'm going for this now. This is what I would like to see more. Obviously Jackson up front.
Okay, so you said who on the left? Sancho?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know how you can say most likely and then end up with Sancho. Okay. Palmer here.
Well, I don't think he'll play on the left. So, and just from the subs that were made during the week, that's why I said, maybe this will be the lineup more.
All right. We know about the application. I want to say thank you, the captain of the community, Constantine Dunn. Big up to you for finding the time to join us. And Medical Promises says, sorry, I think James starts on the left. Okay, we'll see. Possibly. It's a possibility. James
on the left as in left back?
He's entitled to his opinion, but let's see what happens. Both Nani and Neto will start. I think so too. He says James will start on the left to deal with Salah. Salah a threat. Okay,
let's can't deal with Salah.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Dante, for joining. Thank you, Madre. Thank you, Madre. We promise. I appreciate you for joining one day. Thank you. And the coolest shows, Tobago. Thank you. Who was here? Vince was here, and also Markim New. Markim, it's about time you start joining the panel, bro. I'm not sure why. Are you on X? Message me. So let's see.
Are we doing are you doing a show after coach or not?
I think we'll try, but we have a pregame show. Definitely.
You're still doing the pregame as well? Okay.
Yeah. It's already scheduled. IB, nice to see you. Vince, nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time to join. You're typing like in church today because you usually attack me more than this. So I hope that you're in church. And to my bro and the Shambro Hadra, all of you, if I missed your name, apologies. I'm only human. See you guys next time. God bless us all. And cheers.
We'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Wake up, it's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so low. Everything's about Chelsea, feel like pride. We repping our team, standing side by side. We don't lose, we carry that blue. Cause Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. In the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our hearts, can't take defeat. Every match we rise, watch the game unfold. Blue blood running deep, our story told. With every win we celebrate our crew. Chanting songs for Chelsea all day, it's true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. Stunt the banners fly high under the sun. Every player on that field, together we run. With each kick we feel the passion ignite. For Chelsea our hearts shine forever bright. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so dope. Everything's about Chelsea, feel like pride. We repping our team, standing side by side. We don't lose, we carry that blue. Cause Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. In the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our hearts, can't take defeat. Every match we rise, watch the game unfold. Blue blood running deep, our story told. With every win we celebrate our crew. Chanting songs for Chelsea all day, it's true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. So the banners fly high under the sun. Every player on that field, together we run. With each kick we feel the passion ignite. For Chelsea our hearts shine forever bright. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so dope. Everything's about Chelsea, feel like pride. We repping our team, standing side by side. We don't lose, we carry that blue. Cause Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. In the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our heart.